Good morning, everybody. This is Edward Leos, publisher of the Hotel Guide and your host of Travel Talk. I'm really excited about today's episode as I got my good friend, travel buddy, partner. Man, I just love this guy and everything that he's doing out in the world. Adam, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. Edward, first of all, it's great to talk to you again. I mean, I keep up with you guys, but it's been a little while since we had the chance to actually talk. So this is a fantastic opportunity to catch up. And I was on the podcast, I think, into the
Yep.
early stages. I don't remember which episode, but it was pretty early on. And
Mhm.
you're at what point now?
We're at 53, I believe. So yeah,
Yeah.
you're one of our original guests that we had on Travel Talk, and I appreciate you for that. Kind of got us off the ground, and now we're turned the corner on 50s and heading to 75 and beyond, and kind of going from there. So excited to have you back on. I know you're a man that loves travel and humanitarianism and some of the good things that you're trying to accomplish in this world. And so I thought it's always good to bring in a great guest like yourself back and partners, because we chatted about partnering in a lot of ways with the Hotel Guide and some of the initiatives you're doing. So I think it's great for our readers and listeners to know, hey, what's going on in Adam's world. So I know you've been traveling a little bit. Why don't you tell us a little bit about some of your recent travels, and then we're going to jump into the Edge of Adventure and Rugged Compass as well.
Oh, awesome. Well, thank you for that. Yes, I think like so many of the people who follow you and the hotel guide and your brand, I think so many of us love travel and we
Mhm.
like it for a variety of different reasons. But I do like to travel. I like how it pushes me. I like how it challenges me, and it's just always wonderful to go to a place that you haven't been and get to know the people and the culture a little bit. For me, that's really always my favorite part
Yeah.
is getting to spend some time with the people, with the locals, with those in whatever part of the world you're in, and get to know them a little bit and get to know their
Yeah.
culture and their perspective. And it's eye opening. And so that's a big part of what I like to do, both through the Edge of Adventure and Rugged Compass and all the stuff that I do in terms of my projects. But just personally, I love to travel and love to see new places and meet new people.
Mhm.
And currently, I've been on about 3 months. It's been over 3 months that I've
Yeah.
been in Mexico, and
Okay.
anybody that knows me knows that Mexico is an important place for me. It's been kind of a second home for a long time, but there's many parts of the country that I never had visited. I'd never been able to
Yeah.
see, and so I took some time as I've been doing some other projects and working on things. I wanted to also take some time and get to know the country a little bit more. And so I've been doing that. So for the last 3 months, I've seen a variety of different locations here in Mexico.
Wow. What have been some of your favorite places there in Mexico?
So, favorite places, I think I like the small
Mhm.
towns, the towns that still have sort of that original Mexico feel
Yep.
and
Yeah.
flair to it. Unfortunately, right, when tourism comes to town, there's a lot of benefits to it, but there's some downsides too.
Mhm.
And some of the downsides is the city tends to grow and become a little less personal. But these small towns I've gotten to visit that have that quaint Mexico authenticity, those are the
Yeah.
ones that stick out in my mind. Um, so let's see. Just got back from, well, so now I'm back on the coast, but I've been in Chiapas.
Okay.
And I know many of your viewers have been to Chiapas, and some probably have not. But that area there in San Cristobal de las Casas, that's an area that is very unique. It is unique even inside of Mexico. And
Okay.
there's some indigenous populations that still, fortunately, have preserved their culture and their language. And to get to spend some time with them is fun because it in some ways it might push you outside your comfort zone because it's not what you're used to,
Yeah.
but that's what I like is spend some time with them. So recently, I would recommend Chiapas. I think that you want to go carefully and go with a plan so that
Yeah.
you're in the right areas. But San Cristobal de las Casas is super interesting. Quite a few tourists are there. Then if you were to go over on the west coast in the state of Nayarit, I highly recommend a small town that you probably haven't heard a lot about, but it's called San Pancho, or also officially known as San Francisco.
Okay.
But it's known as San Pancho, and it's a small beach town with an amazing community and a beautiful beach as well. So that I've got to see some pueblos mágicos, which is
Mhm.
one of the things that if you know Mexico, they've got these what they call magical towns, and getting to visit some of those as well and experience some of their culture. So honestly, I could talk all day about Mexico. I clearly love it.
Well, I know that. I knew that from the very beginning. One of the first things that we talked about when we first met was your love for Mexico and the cities that are there. And when you talk about travel, can't talk about travel without talking about some of the things that you have on tap. I know we were talking offline about the Edge of Adventure and some big things coming up there, and then Rugged Compass. So why don't we dive a little bit into
Okay.
that? Talk a little bit about what's going on with the Edge of Adventure, and what our viewers could kind of maybe expect from you.
Well, thank you for that opportunity. It's been a little while, but have written a few articles for the Hotel Guide,
Mhm.
and hopefully each time I
Go ahead. Yeah, I mean, I know we were talking a little bit about the Edge of Adventure and some of the great projects you have coming up. Why don't you kind of update our audience a little bit more on some of those projects?
well, happy to. Thanks for the opportunity to do so. The Edge of Adventure. Okay, so first of all, if anyone's listening or maybe seeing this for the first time and they're like, "Who is this guy? What's he even talking about?" The Edge of Adventure is currently, if you were to go look on Apple TV or Prime, and there's a couple of other great ways to watch it as well, including Roku Channel and Tubi. If you were to
Mhm.
look up The Edge of Adventure with Adam Asher, you would find a film, a documentary film, and it's this concept I have where I host and take the viewing audience to a country somewhere where perhaps there are some significant needs and there's a
Mhm.
wonderful humanitarian organization serving the people there.
Got it.
And so it's travel TV, but the hook or the interest is that you get to discover a wonderful group of people helping another wonderful group of people, the humanitarian aspect. So it highlights a humanitarian work in a remote part of the world. And so if you were to go right now and see the film that is online and available for viewing, it's called The Edge of Adventure with Adam Asher. It features Nicaragua. Now, that's what is out there right now, and that would give everyone, if you're trying to get to know me and figure out who this guy is, you could go
Yeah.
there and figure that out. There's also a podcast by the same name, The Edge of Adventure with Adam Asher, and in the podcasts, I interview and talk to people who have leadership roles in humanitarian
Mhm.
work around the world. So, what am I doing now? What's the next project? Well, my dream is and has been to produce a television series. Let's call it 10 episodes, something that would be adventure and travel and would be available on a major platform. And we're working on that. The team and I now are putting together plans to go to shoot this, to produce it, and then to have it distributed again on a major platform. So that's what we're working on. You would be surprised, or maybe you wouldn't be, quite how much work that is. Um,
Oh, I know
but
it's a lot of work. I've seen
it
the
is.
original. I've seen the original piece, and it's amazing. The cinematography, the dialogue, just your you being on camera, it really comes across to the audience. And I think I'm really excited about what you have coming on tap, to be able to get those 10 episodes in and really just kind of do something like that. I can actually see this on major platforms, and I think it's something that a lot of people would be very interested in, from the humanitarianism, from the adventure side, and then just in general travel. You're opening the world's doors to a lot of people, and I love that.
Well, thank you. It really is my dream. It's my
Mhm.
passion, and it has to work, right? And the part of what
Yeah.
makes it challenging, and a part of when you're putting together a television series, it's it's not enough to just have a good idea. You
Yep.
have to have it put together in such a way with a plan that the major um, the major platforms are interested in it, they want
Mhm.
it, and these are the things that have to be ironed out, and we're
Yeah.
working on those. But our expectation is that in the next few months we'll begin shooting, and when that happens, I will be super happy and super honored because I've been working on it a long time,
Mhm.
and I believe in it, and I believe not just in the importance. It's valuable to the humanitarian organizations to
Sure.
be able to share what they do. It's valuable to the people in these locations, the people who are being served and just ministered to and cared for by these humanitarian
Yeah.
organizations. It's important for them to be able to tell their stories. But I believe and always have believed that it's important for us to know about these things because
Mhm.
we need to be involved. We're looking for things to do in our own lives that serve others and that bring meaning. And if we're brave enough to risk a little bit and serve others in that kind of capacity, we find ourselves on the edge of adventure.
Yeah, definitely. I love the concept. I love what you're doing there, and I know that it's going to come to fruition for sure. So, as we've got about 3 or 4 minutes here, but I did want to touch on the Rugged Compass. Tell us a little bit about that and what's going on that platform as well.
Gosh, thank you so much, Edward, for the opportunity. Rugged Compass, which is a brand that is also dedicated to serving humanitarian organizations. The difference there is it is not the TV show. The TV show is called The Edge of Adventure. But
Mhm.
Rugged Compass is a variety of different platforms on which humanitarian organizations can share what they're doing, and those of us who care about
Yeah.
travel with purpose and want to see the world and also want to learn more about cultures and people and perhaps at times the needs that they're facing and the wonderful ways they're rising to the occasion and some wonderful servants are helping them. If you're interested in that sort of thing, you need to join us in Rugged Compass. So
Yeah.
basically, Rugged Compass, you'll find it right now, you'll find it in three areas. One area is as a mobile app. You can find it and download it to your phone. It works
Mhm.
on Apple or Android. So you can do that, be able to see videos, posts, information, news, all that kind of stuff that comes from the humanitarian organizations, all that and more. You'll also, and this is the first time you get to be the first public place I've ever announced this, but there's now
All right.
Rugged
Wow.
Compass TV, which is an app you can download for your pretty much any smart TV or any of your platforms on which you can download apps, including Apple TV, Roku, Fire, and Google TV as well. But you can
Nice.
download Rugged Compass TV. Same concept: humanitarian organizations telling their
Mhm.
stories and sharing them directly with you. And then another thing that we're launching, and one of the reasons why it's been great to be here in Mexico and to be traveling around, is we have a thing called the Rugged Compass Experience. And that's going to be an opportunity to bring a select group of people to some pretty cool areas to do some exploring and to travel and see some things maybe they haven't had a chance
Wow.
to see. But also, it will have an element of service, and we'll be serving
Mm.
people alongside a humanitarian organization in some way. So that's also launching. Rugged Compass, you'll find all that at ruggedcompass.com. And then if you want to follow along with The Edge of Adventure, just look that up, theedgeofadventure.com, and find out more.
That's awesome. You actually answered the question before I asked it, which was how are people going to find you, Adam? And so that's the perfect segue to that. I'm really excited about the future with the two platforms and with what you're doing. Known you for a little while now, and just to see where everything has evolved and how everything is coming into fruition is really it's really exciting. And I was so thankful to have you as a guest. And I know this won't be the last time. You'll probably be my first three-time appearance here, but there's so much good stuff that you bring to this platform as well. But thanks for being on the show today, Adam.
Well, thank you, Edward, and thanks everybody for listening. And you guys are following a wonderful platform, the Hotel Guide, and it's interesting. You know, you get travel and all the things that go with that, but you get to know Edward here, and you see he's a guy with a heart. He's a guy that cares about other people. He's a guy that's willing to help other people,
Yeah.
and that shows the depth behind the Hotel Guide.
Man, I certainly appreciate that, Adam. I appreciate that. And to all our listeners out there, please like, subscribe, follow us at thehotelguide.com. And like as we say all the time, let's travel and let's make some memories. But let's add on based on what Adam's doing. Let's do some good out there in this world. So pass that on, share this, and until next time, everyone, take care and follow us at thehotelguide.com.